people ask us all the time, is like, how do you find time to have scripture study and devotional with your family? And then
every day.
And then how do you do it so that your kids don't just crawl out of their skin and go absolute berserk raving mad, or are frustrated with you, or just fall asleep during the, like, what do you do here? So let's talk about some best practices for A, finding time, and B, running this experience.
I think you don't actually find time to do it. You make time to do it. And you decide that it's a priority, and then you put it in your schedule first and then put everything around it.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't just happen. You don't just add it to whatever's left over at the day. You decide this is going to happen in our family, and we're going to prioritize it, and it's going to get a key time in our schedule.
Right. Now, here's the deal is, this is because you have to decide how important, God and spirituality and connection to heaven is inside of your family. And the reality of it is that the things that are the biggest priority get the attention in a family. It's the reality. And years ago, we heard someone say that, they were talking about investing in business and money management. And they said, nobody has a money problem. They have a priority problem. As an example, when we were completely, totally dead broke, we had one vehicle. And we needed that vehicle. I mean, in order to make money and to get anywhere, we had to have the vehicle, and we literally had no money. And then the transmission went out on that car, right? So what did we do? Did we just say, oh, okay, shucks, we don't have a car, we're just going to sit at home? No, you know what? We figured out a way to get the money needed to get a transmission put into that car so we get back on the road. See, we didn't have a money problem. We had a priority problem. And as soon as the car became a priority, we figured out how to do it. And this is the same way in everything in life. You don't have a time problem. You got a priority problem. Now, I don't mean that criticizing or condemning. It's just parents will ask us all the time, like, how do you find time to do this? It's like, we got all these other things going on. And our answer is short and sweet. Put this first and let everything else fall into place or fall out of your life. You might have to reduce some things, or you might get better at time management. But if you it's the old adage of, you take a bag of sand and you take a bunch of rocks, and if you pour the sand into the jar first and then try to stuff the big rocks in there, it doesn't work. But if you put the rocks in first and then pour the sand around it, then the sand and the rocks will all fit.
I remember when we lived in Montana, we were excited to have Esther in ballet and violin lessons, and Esther and Joshua were doing t-ball, and so we were going to practices. We had all these things going, and we wanted to support each thing. So every night we were somewhere else, and we just did not have time for this.
Yeah. Or energy.
Or mentality. We were exhausted. Yeah. And finally, we held a family council. We said, hey, look, this is what's happening, and we don't feel right about it.
That's right.
We want to put God first. Let's see what we can do to restructure our family life, and what we're committing to. And so in the future, we said no to a lot of things, and we continue to say no to a lot of things. And we came to realize we don't have to keep up with the neighbors. We don't have to keep up with the Joneses. We don't have to let them make us feel bad if we're not involved in this and that and that. Good cause. There's a lot of good things to do out there, but we had to organize our family according to good, better, best.
Right.
There's so many good things you can do. There's a lot of better things you can do, but what is the very best? Because if you're not doing the best, you're displacing the best for just all these good things.
Yeah.
Right?